Alright, this is the first of our videos for Polygon skills in the ArcMAP environment. And so again, in the Polygon skill set, what we're going to begin with is some editing of existing polygons. And in this, we're going to be using, again, a move vertices and a split of vertices. We'll also be doing a delete polygon. And so we're not going to, yet in this first one, we're not going to do the union and merge. That'll happen at the end. But again, editing is the first thing that we need to do. So what are our specific tasks in the first video? Well, what we are going to do is we are going to go in and we're going to move to Erie County, and we're going to stay at a 55,000 scale centered on Presque Isle, and I'll show you where that is. Then what we're going to do is we're going to move. You're going to see very quickly that Erie County's boundary is not coincident with our base layer. And we're going to be using the topographic base layer to do this. And so we're going to move some of it, some of the vertices, to make it a little bit better in terms of its coincidence. Then what we're going to do is actually split out a part of it, and we're going to use the split tool similar to what we did in the line feature class to cut out, in a sense, a rectangle that we're going to then recreate, and we'll do that through the delete interior polygon. So let's get started on this. Okay, so we're back in our ArcMap environment, and what I've done here is I've zoomed to Erie County. Again, this, if you're not familiar with Pennsylvania, I think you all are. We're up in the northwest corner of the state, and what I'm interested in is this area right here, which is Presque Isle. And you'll notice, even at this scale, that the boundary of Erie County is not at all coincident with the actual edge of the lake in terms of our base map. And again, I'm using the World Topographic Base Map here. So what I'm going to do next is I want you to zoom in to Presque Isle at a scale of 1 to 55,000. Now I have that bookmarked, and so I'm going to go to my bookmark right now. And so again, I'm at 1 to 55,000. And you'll notice what I'm asking you to do first is I want you to modify this edge boundary. And we're going to do that in a similar manner to what we did with the modify the vertices in a line feature. So again, I'm going to go to my PA counties. I'm going to right click on them, and we're going to begin to edit our features. And so again, same warning, I'm going to hit continue. And so now when I look at my PA counties, what I'm going to do is I have polygons to edit, but what I want to do first is I want to expose my vertices, and I'm going to add a couple of vertices. So double click here. And what I need to do is add a vertex. I'm going to click on my Add Vertex tool, and I'm going to add one right here. And I'm going to add another one, by the way, right next to it. And I'll show you why in just a minute. Then I'm going to come over to this end of it, and I'm going to do the same thing. Add one and two. Now, what I'd like you to do next, we're going to go back, and I'm going to select my Edit Vertex tool, and I'm going to take the interior vertex, and I'm going to pull that down to where the coastline is. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to take this vertex, I'm going to pull it down to the coastline. This is why I used two vertices to do this. What I really wanted to do was to allow for this angle to be maintained. So now that I've done that, I'm going to go back here, and now I have, you'll notice, a modified edge, and at least it hits the coastline here and here. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out an additional part of this boundary. And we do this oftentimes. This is what we call splitting a polygon. And so the first step in splitting a polygon is to select the polygon you want to split. Okay, so again, I've used my select editor tool here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut the polygon. Now the important thing about cutting a polygon, and again, this is very different than the in terms of kind of the way this works. We want to select it, and then we're going to move again to this corner. We're going to click once. I'm going to go in, and I want to go in only about this far. And then I'm going to come across, click again, and I'm going to come back up to that vertex. And I'm going to double click on it. Now what I've done is I've now made an additional polygon. And so this is a way of splitting a polygon. In other words, splitting a polygon requires that you first go to the edge of the polygon, move interior to it, and then move to another edge. And that way we're essentially splitting it in any way. We could split polygon a number of different ways. You'll notice, for example, I could simply go click here and here, and double click, and I've split it again. However you want to do that. Now, the next step though that I want you to do is to select the polygon, and we're going to simply click our delete key, and that will remove that polygon. Select the next one here, since I split them, and click delete. So now what we've done is we've modified the edge of Erie County, and we've cut out a portion of it using the splitting tool. So that's it for the first part, and now we're going to move on from that, and we're going to be doing some other things. So we'll see you next time.